Sometimes I like to play this game where I think about the British Islamic Caliphate and, who's going to get the gun, which artist, Damien Hirst or Tracy Emin. And 10 out of 10 times, every time I do it, it's Damien Hirst is always spared and Tracy always gets the bullet. And the question is, why is Damien always perfect? He never gets ruined. And it's not because, and why is Tracy getting? It's not because Tracy is, a woman, or it's not even because she's like degenerate in a way, the question isn't whether the art is degenerate or it's a question of a personality. Well, the way I think about it is that Damien Hirst's art, Damien Hirst is like a less self-aware Jeff Koons. So like Jeff Koons is like Andy Warhol, but with less vision. So Jeff Koons is always interested in recreating the Brillo pad box over and over and over and over, the same statement. And he's got no vision. Everything's the same. He figured it out. He's like, this works. Where Andy actually had vision. Andy was actually very smart about it. He knew, once he was done with the Brillo pad, he had to go to Elvis. He had to move on. You can't stay with the Campbell soup cans forever. An artist can't rehash. An artist always needs to look for new things. Jeff Koons is stuck in that. So Jeff Koons has less vision, but Damien Hirst is a Jeff Koons, again, with who's not self-aware, where Jeff Koons is very self-aware. He's very ironic, but he's not willing to say he's ironic, but he is. But Damien Hirst is very serious. So when you see the shark in the phone booth versus the basketball and formaldehyde, what you're getting with Jeff Koons' basketball and formaldehyde is you're getting complete irony. It doesn't fucking mean anything. He just did it. Whereas Damien Hirst actually believes in some kind of thing behind the shark. The shark means something. So Damien's very, very, very smart, and he's not tongue-in-cheek. Now Tracy, the reason why I would say personality is the issue is because Tracy has this personality where because it's autobiographical art, she over-exaggerates everything about it, and she's basically disingenuous. And this is the whole White House piece about Tracy. You can read the lyrics to that one. He hated her because she's disingenuous, because she's a liar. She fops up all this sexual shit for her own material gain in some sense. And so it's not even about the act of sex itself, it's about the fact that the sex is so extreme. Or, oh yeah, I fucked like 40,000 men, and I could have been a dancer, but I chose not to be. I chose to fuck men and become an artist. It's just bullshit. It's just, what makes her degenerate isn't the art itself. The art itself, the bed, that if Damien Hirst made the bed, it would mean something, it would have some kind of thing behind it. But because she makes it, it becomes degenerate. It becomes nothing. It's not worth anything. So I kind of like to think about this like bad good art and bad art. So bad art is always disingenuous. It's like the B movie that's made to be a B movie, not a B movie that's made to be an A movie that becomes a B movie out of incompetence. Someone who makes a cult classic bad film, it'll be bad, but they weren't trying to make it bad. Like Ed Wood's a great example. Everyone always talks about how Ed Wood's great. But Ed Wood was very serious about it. Like you see Glenn or Glenda, and it's obvious that he wants to do this. This is his thing. But when you see something like Birdemic or fucking Space Cop, something like that where it's obviously it's meant to be bad, then it's bad. There's no redeeming quality about it. Without an ideal, art is nothing. A great artist is someone who has ideals, and a miniature artist is someone who's subjective or who's looking for, just doing it because they can. So when you have something like this Tracy Emin and Damien Hirst issue here, what we're having is something like, if I could put it into another parallel, talk about YouTube for a moment here. You can talk about BigAl 2K6 is Damien Hirst, and like Chills is Tracy Emin. So you have with BigAl's prior to monetization, it's like he and Luiz Prower, they didn't make any money on YouTube. Luiz Prower was a poor fuck, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, I don't know what the fuck he was, but he had like a PayPal and lived with his grandma, and I mean, he got like pennies on PayPal from his fans. And BigAl didn't make any fucking money on his Windows Movie Maker top 10 lists and his Sephiroth videos and his fucking Make Me a Mugen character video. Holy shit, that was great. But the Big Al was just doing it, you know. It was almost art for art's sake in some way. When you look at Chills, you see there's some disingenuous value to Chills, to this top 10 list garbage. We see a man who has become self-aware. He has become, in a sense, Jeff Koons. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's making this list, and he knows he's a meme. You know, you could see it. He's a fucking foot lettuce fucking t-shirt. And by the way, speaking of disingenuous nature, he's selling his shirt for $40. I mean, that's like a Tracy Emin move right there. To take your art and then to market it, to make it like the end all. It's like making fucking Monet prints, you know, Monet doing like Monet prints. It's like when you lose all your credibility as an artist is when you start doing shit like that. So you have Big Al as a loser, but I think I don't like Damien Hirst, but Big Al is a loser. Just like, again, just as I don't like Damien Hirst, I don't like Big Al. I made fun of Big Al for years. But Big Al is this section, this history of YouTube, and I'm dating myself here, where, you know, it was for the sake of doing it. It's not for the sake of getting rich. And when I see you do things here, I see you acting in a way you're looking for Twitch money. You're looking for the next big thing. You were an actor before. You were an artist before. What I keep seeing is this trend, this disingenuous trend. Is like you're not willing to do something just for the sake of doing it. You're looking to do it for some return, some kind of like you're like an investor looking for ROI. You want your dividends. You want it immediately. You're investing in you're not investing in a company that's gonna change the world. You're investing in the company that's gonna get you the fastest return possible. So we see, and so instead of like the heart valve manufacturer that needs money getting funded, you're investing in an app about mindfulness and wellness that's like $3 in iTunes or the Apple Store, whatever the fuck it is. Instead of being honest, you're being disingenuous. You're saying, I'm just looking for this, but you're not trying to. So you could be like Tracy Emin, you can throw a fucking bed together, and you can say, look at me, you know, I'm a fucking degenerate who, like, sleeps around with people. Isn't that great? I'm an artist. Or you could be Damien Hirst and say, what does the shark mean, right? The shark's a reflection of us, isn't it? So instead of, and you're not selling the shark either. You're not using the shark, cashing it in for your own gain. You're not using your own natural life force, your sexual life force to push a career. You're putting a shark in a tank. You know, you're doing something very difficult. You're getting a shark. You're finding that shark. You're putting it formaldehyde. This is a very difficult task. You're not putting a bed together. And in the same way, Big Al's standing in front of the camera making a fucking fool of himself, and he's not making a top 10 list that's going to get 3 million views and selling $40 t-shirts. He's out there, he's making a fool of himself. He's making a top 10 list, but he's in the list. He's physically doing skits and all these things. He's putting something into it, and something's being taken out of it by people who are watching it. Whereas a top 10 list where there's no value, there's just a bunch of pictures lazily strung together like a messed up bed. Suddenly that's supposed to mean something. It's supposed to be worth money. It's supposed to be worth, like, ad revenue or something like that. Well, it makes no sense. So what I see, and you keep searching for this. You want this. You want to go there. You want to be that. So when I see you, I see Tracy Emin. I don't see Damien Hirst. I don't see someone who's creating quality content. What I'm seeing is someone who's trying to create quick content and get ahead. And so, again, who's going to get the bullet? It's going to be Tracy Emin. And you got to look at yourself. Look at your future. And you got to say to yourself, do you want to be at the end of the gun, or do you want to be the one firing the gun?